that is my why. Like all of the little Lucys out there who are struggling, I want to represent them.
Hi Lucy, thank you so much for being here.
Hello.
You're a content creator, disability activist, and now the founder of an inclusive beauty brand. We want to hear everything about your creator journey on Facebook. Let's cast our minds back to when you first started posting. How and why did you start, and what was it like for you creating content in the beginning?
It was 2014, the long form era. I was posting about guide dogs. I just first lost my vision and I was very we had to edit out a lot of ums in the early days. I then transitioned in 2020 to short form content, and How Does a Blind Girl was born. That became my slogan and what I was known for. Why is this red-headed girl shouting at me, how does a blind girl, on the internet? I don't know, it just happened. The algorithm for short form content was massive in 2020 and still is to this day. It's created a whole new load of creators, and that's how I built my business. It's just been amazing. Like number two, just being able to really engage with an audience in a short form way, get to the point really quickly, and answer those shower thoughts.
Yeah. I love that. When did you first realize your Facebook presence was resonating with an audience, and at what point did you realize your content could help others?
I think when I started getting comments on my Facebook Reels that would say, oh my gosh, I love this. I haven't seen another person who's blind on the internet. And I would do just everyday things, and sighted people would comment like, how does a blind girl do X, Y, or Z? And I was like, oh, I think I've got a series in this. This is really cool. And then I would get direct messages from people saying, I'm going through sight loss. What do I do? Then that gave me like a deeper purpose to post on Facebook. I think for me, that is my why. Like all of the little Lucys out there who are struggling, I want to represent them because I had no role models growing up. And I used to type in, blindness or sight loss, and I felt so alone. I had no one in my real life who was going through what I was. And I remember thinking, wow, this is so cool, the reach of this, and just little old brummy me, reaching the world. It feels really cool.
Yeah. I've read one time a quote saying, be who you needed to be for your younger self. And I think in practice, it's so much more impactful, right?
Absolutely. I always want to be the change I wish to see. And my channel is all about, smashing through those stereotypes and understanding that there's not one way to look blind. There's not one way to do something. And we all live in such a sighted world, and I felt like it wasn't made for me. But the more and more I make educational videos about things on Facebook, the more I'm chipping away at what society sees blindness as. And it can be a positive thing, and I don't want people to be scared of blindness.
Yeah. What opportunities have opened up for you through being a creator?
So many. I honestly love talking about blindness so much. I didn't know that there was going to be a career in it. And I think also the more that I found inaccessible products, the more I made videos about them, and then brands saw that and thought, actually, we should probably make our products accessible to a wider audience. And then when you say the purple pound, which is the spending power of disabled people and their community, their family, their friends, their loved ones, it's $8 trillion. So there really is a use case for brands. And I think, people resonated with my story, me talking about the really raw moments of my sight loss journey. And I became the face of Pantene, just curling my hair, being like, how does a blind girl curl her hair? And people being like, do you not worry about that? That's such a hot tool. I'm like, nah, I've done it for years. And Pantene were like, oh, okay, let's make her the face of 2 adverts, which was wild.
Wow.
And then there was Blind Barbie, which I was the ambassador of worldwide. And then I get people, not just blind little kids, sighted little kids, messaging me, their parents saying, oh my gosh, I've just got this for little Emma, and finally she can see herself represented. She can play with a long white cane. Barbie has a cane and heels. This is so cool.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize the impact that that would have even, you know, wider than the blindness community. All I know is that if I was playing with blind Barbie, I wouldn't have then felt scared to be blind when I finally lost my eyesight at 17. So there's things like that. And then obviously I just always look through my comments, and the amount of times that I've done my makeup online, I can't even count on two hands.
Wow.
Now I'm doing my own makeup line, Etia, which is incredible where it's taken me.
That is amazing. And it kind of makes you wonder, what if you didn't speak about these things? And it says a lot about the power of authentic creating, because you're speaking about things from the heart, you know?
Absolutely. I think that's all you have to do. You have to stay true to yourself. When you're creating any sort of video, it's about, you know, people want to hear from you. I've got a community now, but they want to hear about my whole life. They want to hear the progress as well as the negatives. And I think I've always kept it really raw and not sugar-coated my feelings. And I think people just appreciate that.
Yeah, 100%. And what's next for you on your creator journey?
I think my gardening content is very much a passion of mine. You can tell I'm getting into my 30s. So funny. I'd love a longer term relationship with Facebook and a long-term partnership. I think them as a platform have always been somewhere that has always been accessible to me, and I've done a few integrations with the team and even chatted to the engineers from Seattle. Went to Paris last year, and they had so many blind people in a room just understanding how they can change the platform to be accessible even more with screen readers.
Yeah, just really moving the needle, I suppose, and like breaking that barrier to entry.
Absolutely. I think as Facebook and all social media platforms are pushing to be more keyword based search, like people are using Facebook as a search engine more and more. So, you know, me as a creator, I have to adapt to that. And I think, you know, what is in public consciousness, I've been a journalist for years and years now, you know, what is trending, and knowing that within my niche of accessibility, there's always something to talk about within what's coming up.
Yeah. It's been so great to talk to you, Lucy. Thank you so much for sharing your creator journey.
Thank you.